Hello everyone, my name is Almanda Sasvian Karsitri and I am from class B with my student ID number E1A025-036 and I am a law student at Jenderal Sudirman University Unsud. This video is presented as a part of English for Law course under the supervision of Miss Nisa Royasha. In this video, I will present my analysis of the legal case entitled The Murder Case of Brigadir J by Ferdy Sambo, which is, this case is a part of my group's case presentations.
Backup lah.
Apakah ini yang saudara tembakkan ke
HS ya?
HS, yang saudara tembakkan yang saudara bilang
Ya,
ambil dari
tembak ke
punggung
Yosua. Ya.
Juga ini konsisten dengan BAP beliau bahwa Pak Ferdy Sambo klarifikasi dari pengacara Ferdy Sambo terkait dengan apa yang tadi sempat disebut di dalam ruang sidang senjata digunakan untuk menembak Yosua Huta Barat.
First, I would like to explain the background of the case. What becomes the background of the case is the killing of Brigadir J, a police officer who served as a part of Ferdy Sambo's personal security team. Brigadir J was found dead at Ferdy Sambo's official residence in July 2022. Initially, this incident was described as a shootout between police officers, which later raised serious doubts. After further investigation, it was revealed that this incident was not spontaneous but a premeditated murder planned by Ferdy Sambo with the involvement of several other individuals. The investigation also uncovered efforts to manipulate and obstruct the legal process. The main legal issue concerns whether the defendant's actions fulfilled the elements of premeditated murder under Indonesian criminal law, including intent, priori, planning, and abuse of authority, as well as whether evidence manipulate and obstruction to justice constitute additional criminal offense. Now, I will move on to the relevant laws applied in this case. The relevant legal provision in this case are regulated under Indonesian Criminal Code, which is KUHP. According to Article 340 KUHP, premeditated murder is punishable by death penalty, life imprisonment, or long-term imprisonment. Furthermore, Article 55 KUHP applies because the crimes are committed together with other parties acting as co-perpetrators. In addition, Article 221 KUHP, as the defendant was proven to have obstruction justice by manipulating evidence and misleading the investigator. Based on these provisions, the defendant's actions fulfilled the legal elements of premeditated murder and obstruction of justice. After discussing the applicable laws, I will now evaluate the court's decision in this case. In my opinion, the court made a well-reasoned decision in this case. The judges correctly applied criminal law principles, thoroughly examining the elements of premeditated murder, including intent, prior planning, and abuse of authority. This shows the strength of the court reasoning, particularly establishing that the crime was deliberately planned and not was a spontaneous act. However, a potential weakness in the earlier decision lies in the severity of the initial death penalty imposed by district court, which raised concern regarding proportionality and consistency in sentencing. This issue was later addressed by the Supreme Court through revising the sentence to life imprisonment, thereby strengthening legal certainty and ensuring alignment with sentences principle. I agree with the final ruling because, from a legal perspective, life imprisonment still fulfills the objectivities of criminal punishment, including retribution, deterrence, and justice. While upholding equality before the law, this decision confirms that no individuals above the law, regardless of power or authority. Beyond the legal analysis, this case also raised important ethical and social implications. This case has significant ethical and social implication, particularly concerning public trust in law enforcement institution. While the accident initially damaged public confidence, the transparency of the judicial process and the final judgment helped reaffirm the principle that abuse of power must be held accountable. The ruling also sends a strong message that authority must be exercised responsibly and within the limits of the law. In conclusion, the Verdi Sambo case represents an important lesson in Indonesian legal history. The final decision demonstrates the commitment of the judiciary to uphold the rule of law, even when the defendant is a powerful public official. This case reinforces the importance of integrity, accountability, and justice within the criminal justice system. That is all for my legal analysis of this case. Thank you for your kind attention. Bye-bye.